a university administrator, how I look at this whole change in higher education, or for that matter, management education. So everything has changed, during the pandemic and post-pandemic, and the whole education system, I think, was the most affected, both at the school as well as higher education level. In fact, at the school level, it is very disheartening to see young kids sitting in front of the screen for so long, and poor teachers trying to engage with them, trying to, have some activities done so as to keep them well engaged. Higher education is, of course, a little different, where you have adults who are in front of the screen, but nevertheless, it has been challenging for even higher education teachers to teach in, technology-enabled classrooms, where there is an empty classroom in front of you, and you're actually in front of a screen, not really knowing whether students are learning, whether even students are listening, and leave alone, the assessment part, which is far more challenging. Last March, suddenly, with the announcement of COVID-19 and of course the lockdown that was announced in the country, we were into some of our institutions, business schools were into examinations, some of them were still into teaching, and therefore it was a huge reaction, both by students as well as teachers. Teachers didn't know how to handle it. We had to pack off students safely to their homes and begin with or continue with their teaching online. And it was a very, very difficult situation. Some of the teachers, of course, were adapted and used to using technology, but not many. And students were not used to learning in front of the screen, but they had no option. The most challenging part was the conduct of examinations. And I'm very glad that many of our teachers, and I'm sure your teachers too, across the country did a wonderful job, again, using online tools to assess the students. But that wasn't really over, we did think. But then the lockdown period of almost 2 or 3 months in every state really gave us time to introspect. Not only introspect, but I would say revamp and reskill our teachers, because it was important for all of us to reskill them to adopt to a totally new life of teaching and learning for both teachers and students. And that's what we did. So this was an overall picture of the higher education system. But coming specifically to management education, I would say that the pandemic caused a dramatic disruption in management education. Right from the way we teach to what we teach really changed. And I would look at it in different aspects. The most important aspect of our education system, or even management education system, let us consider the student, who's the most important, aspect or stakeholder. Now, in case of students, it so happened that students, the admissions in most average B schools, I would say, suffered. Maybe not the IIMs, or maybe not institutions like yours or ours, but the students' admissions definitely declined. There were more fresh graduates who decided to join management education, and not those with work experience that we would have otherwise got. And therefore, the teaching in classrooms definitely had to be tweaked towards fresh graduates coming in than really students that came in with work experience. Looking at our example, we would get at least about 70% students with work experience otherwise. And now we see that this batch is more of fresh graduates than really people who had some work experience. So this definitely changed. Executive MBA programs saw a decline in admissions, obviously because companies did not want to spare any money for training activities. And therefore, many of the good institutions had to move to online executive MBA. And again, that was a big challenge to actually meet up with the requirements of the industry and carrying out the sessions through an online board. International students was the biggest hit. I think that was the biggest ever hit, at least in institutions like ours, where students from 85 countries study, and we see hardly any students coming because of ban on travel. But nevertheless, our teachers had to adapt to online education and online degrees to satisfy the needs of international students who were already in the system and had to be taken care of. Many of the students also chose business schools closer to homes, and did not want to travel that far. I mean, otherwise, students would travel from all states to a city like Pune or a city like Chennai, would probably choose, business schools which are closer to home, for the simple reason of the fear of travel or the fear of COVID in those states or in that city. And therefore, students' mobility certainly affected. Now, coming to teachers, I think the most affected people or the stakeholders in this whole post-pandemic or pandemic era have been our teachers. And while the teachers did adapt and have adapted to the use of technology, I think there is still a long way to go. The 2 months of lockdown did give all of us time to train our teachers, and we through our we and just to give an example of what we did, we designed a program called Nurture, because not all teachers were really used to using technology as much as they need to use today, and therefore those teachers who were well versed with technology became mentors for the other teachers. And we when we announced this program, there were 70 teachers from different business schools of Symbiosis who came forward and said that we are ready to handhold the others and help them to use technology at its best, because technology is not just about teaching in front of a screen, but technology is obviously more about engaging with students in a more meaningful way, and a change in the whole pedagogical aspects. And therefore this program Nurture was kicked off last year, and I'm happy to tell you that it was not just teachers teaching and handholding and mentoring university teachers, but our university teachers started handholding and mentoring even our school teachers, because Symbiosis also runs a couple of schools. And this program has really seen the light of the day. And today I'm very happy to tell you that it's not just university teachers, but even school teachers who are now absolutely well versed and very find it very easy, to use technology. The third, of course, aspect is the curriculum aspect of internationalization. I would say that though international students declined, but the other aspects of internationalization found its way. And therefore, what we did not do as a part of internationalization strategy, now it was so easy for us to do. Collaborative online international learning, or COIL as it is well described, found its way in Indian classrooms. We could not find foreign teachers traveling all the way to Indian classrooms, but now you find them in plenty because online education found its way. We tied up with Coursera and several other platforms. I'm sure all universities and institutions did, and that brought in the best of teachers into Indian classrooms. And I would say a concept called internationalization at home got practiced. Internationalization at home, we all know, is a concept where just 2% of our students are generally mobile and get to travel abroad. But the 95% of students who remain on the home campuses do not get this flavor of internationalization. But today, you see that internationalization is so well received by students, by teachers, and a lot of collaborative and co-teaching has started happening in class. Just to quote an example of one of our B schools, it's so heartening to see that through our collaborative partner, we have co-teaching done by an Indian faculty and a foreign faculty to a class, a virtual class, which is of Indian students and foreign students sitting together. And nowhere we would have experienced this kind of internationalization ever before. There are certain subjects apart from the core management sciences that have gained importance, and I would agree with Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe when he said healthcare has found its importance in management classrooms, which never ever was seen. Risk management, digital transformation. I mean, so many new subjects that would have otherwise not seen the importance in management classrooms has definitely seen its importance, apart from, of course, hardcore subjects that are much needed, which is artificial intelligence and several others. Logistics started also gaining its importance far more than what it was before. And therefore, I think teachers found it initially very difficult, but now I'm sure they've adapted to a totally new life of this ICT enabled education. The fourth aspect is placements, especially in management schools, and I think that was the most critical part of this whole post-pandemic management education. And I'm sure anyone would say that placements did not get affected wasn't really true. Placements certainly did get affected. Maybe jobs did not, but the kind of placements that otherwise students would have got in the top ranking institutions certainly got affected. Industries started offering more of research-based, home-based internships and placement offerings to students. I mean, there was so much of uncertainty in the batch that passed out in April that many of the students who had actually got job offers, found it probably a little challenging, to meet up with the expectations of the industry while sitting at home, because they were not used to. Summer internships certainly got affected in most of the business schools. And here, I think the networks with the industries of some of the B schools certainly helped. There was a lot of online placements that started happening. And I'm glad to inform you that, at least in institutions and business schools in Symbiosis, though placements did not get affected as much and nor did pay packages, but as an organization, we could also offer a lot of online placements to students, from non-management disciplines, where there was offerings to be given in the administration of our education system. The entrepreneurship gained its much more importance than ever before, because there were newer solutions that needed to be formulated for for problems of that people encounter. I mean, whether it was healthcare, whether it was other areas, there were students who actually came up with new ideations, and incubators on our campuses certainly help such students. Again, I'm very happy to inform you that we could see a steep rise of startups being incubated at our technology business incubator than ever before, because students probably risked not taking their jobs, but actually formulating their own startups and companies by actually collaborating with each other. And this was a new trend that we started seeing than ever before. So from a mere about 16 startups that I would say were there in 2018, now we see about 32 startups on the company, about 10 to 50 on the university campus, or 10 to 15 new startups being added. The organization had to change. The whole administration of these schools had to change. The administrative staff had to be, digitally transformed, and a lot of digitalization had to be brought in, even in the academic and administrative processes. So apart from the teaching learning process of how teachers would use technology, I think it was pretty challenging for us as university administrators to see how the administrators would use technology. ERP that we all spoke about, for several years. Now it's a way of life for all of us, and therefore I think there has been a huge transformation within the institution, within the university, and within the business school. I would say the whole digital transformation, and a lot of staff training had to be had to happen, and we had to obviously pour in a lot of resources to do that. Work from home was a new culture for all of us. I mean, to ensure that the way we ensure learning outcome of students, it was a new challenge for the HR department and for the administrators of these schools to actually ensure work output from work from home concepts. There were certain staff members that we could not even give work to them, whether it was the class 4 staff or some of the other staff, and therefore it was a huge challenge. But then what we did was we used that part for the training of these staff. So they were meaningfully engaged in training sessions, and I'm so happy that some of our class 4 staff could now be well upgraded to even assistant clerk positions, simply because they got trained in the last 4 to 5 months, because we could not even give them any jobs to do as work from home. So I'm sure these challenges that we have faced, all of you would have faced. And I would say the positive aspects of COVID have been a lot than just the negative aspects. So we've been castigating this disease, this illness, and as a medical doctor, I would say look at the positives of what COVID has taught us. I mean, there has been individual transformations because of this, this illness. There have been transformations in universities, in business schools, in most organizations, and of course in nations. I think one thing that we have learned out of this COVID-19 is collaboration, is interdependence. I mean, even a vaccine could not be developed by just one company, but there had to be 2 to 3 collaborators that had to come together to develop a vaccine against this deadly disease. So I think the world of collaboration will continue. The world of interdependence will continue. That, the whole concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and we believing that the world is one family. I think COVID has taught us this very concept of living together for our mutual benefits. And I think if business schools also collaborate with each other, it's much more to learn and much more for the students to actually take away than really look at, the competitive spirit that exists in, Indian